are the giant in the field of HR. What are the core competencies they look for if you want to highlight a person as the future of the organizations? In other words, what someone must do to climb up the ladder of that corporate ladder? What are the skills and competencies you look for in someone?
Well, if you're talking about what are the things that I would look for the people who have got high potentials,
Good.
because with the people high potential is the one that is going to climb up the ladder.
Correct.
I normally go on the basis of the first thing, which is something which is a must,
Mm-hmm.
is what competency that the person has.
Mm-hmm.
Competency the person has in the field in which he or she is working right now. This is number one. That one is they must have, and this competency is not based on what he or she has acquired in the past, but it's more something which is relevant and be ready
Mm-hmm.
to have competency renewed as we move along in time.
All right. Right.
Number two would be the capability of the person.
Mm-hmm.
The capability of person is how you see the sustained performance. I use the word sustained performance, not the yo-yo performance.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because a person who has got competency means nothing if they do not translate the competency into the sustained performance.
Correct.
So that is very important. That is, I
Mm-hmm.
call it capability.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is that in order for us to identify, in my case, in order to identify whether a person has got potential or not to climb up the ladder,
Mm-hmm.
is a look at whether the person has got the capacity.
All right.
The capacity here is what I mean is that whether he or she is able to assume
Mm-hmm.
much higher, bigger, and complex responsibility.
Excellent. Excellent.
This is where we have to be very careful. A lot of people think that performance is
Mm-hmm.
equal to potential, not necessarily so.
Not necessarily.
You may have a very good salesman, top salesman, but only as a salesman. You will only see the person capacity with the potential when you're able to stretch the person to do much more bigger, higher, and
Mm.
complex. So that is
Definitely
very
higher than, yeah. Yeah.
the
Correct.
capacity is one of the key things for us to look at whether the person is able to move further or not. Then you go on the next one. The fourth one is the person's what we call it character.
Correct.
Very important.
Mm-hmm.
Eh? Because this is where the EQ comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Having the IQ is one thing, but the EQ comes in. When we talk about the character, we talk about the integrity of the person, the drive that the person has, eh? and then how the person, whether it is he or she is a team player or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So these are the various characters that we need to look at. Now,
Correct.
then the next one
Mm-hmm.
is very important because this is a reality that I have seen in many high potential is
Mm.
whether the person has got the chemistry.
Chemistry.
What
Mm.
I use the word chemistry because in actual fact I can use the word compatibility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's say that a person is a very highly intelligent person, have shown great potential, but not able to manage the stakeholders.
Correct. Managing stakeholders, the
Very
key.
important.
Otherwise,
Manage the
there is no way that he can climb up. Yeah.
organization. Let's say that if you are the boss and you have got somebody who is very highly intelligent, but all the time make it into a lot of unnecessary argument, and then he or she thinks that they're the only smart person. I don't think you would like to consider the person as a high potential.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
So that is why it is very important to have all these things.
It's brilliant, Jawahar, because you're talking about, I summarized it as the 5C, you talked about the competencies, capabilities, capacities, as well as the character, and finally the chemistry. I tell you what, it's so essential, it's so simple, but so essential for somebody to master all this, and they can acquire along the way.